Hey, Shalom Aleichem, Zuvakam Akapash from GMS London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Chachadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in all sincerity, right? Back again with another video. And I saw this article, bro, was posted up in the chat, right? From End Time Headlines, right? And I don't know, I find it interesting, quite alarming, but you know, while I was reading through this article, which I'm going to read a bit of it, right? What Esau does, what the world tries to do, these scientists and whoever, right? They play down all these things, right? Telling people, oh, this is absolutely normal, and maybe people just not in the know. We don't know. We don't observe and see these things like their man are constantly watching it, right? Because that's their job or whatever, right? Supposedly, but it's this sense of safety, like no, things is fine, everything's normal, right? And that's the condition that the people are supposed to be in, right? You're meant to feel like everything's okay, like there's nothing crazy on the horizon, and you can just carry on doing what you regularly do, and you don't worry about all of this. Just keep living the life, innit? You know. But these are the same thoughts and ways people reacted before the flood came. That people were just like, when Noah was warning them, about the rain, the flood, the man didn't take it seriously, right? And basically just carried on doing what they were doing, right? Until the rain start coming down, the man started panicking, right? And it caught them all off guard because they had tons of time to prepare, right? Because Noah was building, I think it was prophesying building it up for like 100 years, something like that. Correct if I'm wrong, right? They had plenty of time to get right and sort themselves out, believe in the Lord and all that kind of stuff, right? But no, they didn't, right? They carried on with their foolishness, right? And it's the same here. We live in the exact same times. You tried to call me. I don't know, right? But anyway, right? So yeah, Birth Pangs, which is an interesting title, right? Because that links up with another scripture I'm going to get later, right? So it says 19 volcanoes have erupted at the same time. Now, on the surface, this sounds crazy. Like 19 volcanoes, wow, that's a lot of volcanoes just erupting at the same time. Something must be up, right? And the truth is, yeah, something is up. But, apparently this is normal, right? So more than a dozen volcanoes are erupting at the same time worldwide, and 3 new eruptions joined the list this week. The Smithsonian Institute's Global Volcanism Program tracks new eruptions and updates its list of currently erupting volcanoes on Wednesdays. The most recent update shows 3 new eruptions, bringing the list total to 19 eruptions at once. The list doesn't include all erupting volcanoes, right? Because this simply you can't see them all, right? I guess. The new volcanic eruptions have some people voicing their concerns on social media, right? Because yeah, generally, if a volcano is acting up, man, you should be concerned in it because I don't know, any moment it could just blow its top, right? And the man gonna get doused with lava and get cremated, right? So yeah, you should be concerned when something's happening, isn't it? You see the smoke bellowing out of the top. Yeah, they have the right to be concerned, right? Um, it says volcanoes. Okay, new volcanic eruptions have some people voicing their concerns on social media. Volcanoes erupt simultaneously in Italy, Iceland, Japan, Mexico, Russia, Philippines, etc. This is it's not like in one isolated place. This is spread out. It's quite all over the earth, right? So below is a volcanic activity map of 2013 versus 2023. Totally normal, right? One posted on X, formerly Twitter. It is not actually uncommon for multiple volcanoes to erupt at once. Experts were quick to dispel any fears, right? Now, maybe this is true. Maybe volcanoes are always erupting simultaneously and all this kind of stuff. Maybe it is normal, perceivably normal to them because they be watching it, right? But it doesn't change the time that we're living in, and what these things are really gonna mean in due time because they're not experts in scriptures. Hell, they're not even experts on volcanoes. Right? These men still don't really fully understand all that goes in it, right? Because there's a spiritual element to all these things too, right? And they're not experts on those types of things, right? So they do the best with what information and knowledge that they have, right? to look at these things and discuss these things, but they're not experts. Let's just be real. Esau is not an expert in anything, in any field, right? It doesn't matter if they got like a degree, a professor, doctors, whatever. They're still not truly experts, man, because they're still going to be confounded by all the science that they know. All right, the wise of this world are going to be confounded. All right, that's what the scripture told you, right? The wisdom of this world, right? It's foolishness with the Most High, because they think they understand everything when they don't, and they know they don't, right? Anyway, so yeah, experts were quick to dispel any fears. PSA: volcanoes are erupting all the time, all over the world. Same like the earthquakes, right? Earthquakes are always going on. Okay, and we know this, like, So yeah, these volcanoes may be going off all the time, kind of thing. Like lots of different ones at different times and whatever simultaneously. Okay. To say it's normal though, I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch. Is this time that we're living in normal? and this is another thing Esau's been doing over these, all these different crises that have happened. The last one being the CV and all that kind of stuff. Like, norms have been shifted, and norms have always been continuously shifted. And now we just think that this is normal, right? That's the the conditioning that's been given to us. This is now normal. This is normal. Everything is normal. People getting stabbed every day is normal. In London, it's normal. Things like this, abortions, and it's normal. Everything's just normal. Everything, as bad as it is, it's just normal. Don't worry about it. It's just normal. It's not drastic in any type of way, right? And that's how Esau makes you feel, just to keep you going on with your everyday lives, right? Not really paying attention to things that are going on, right? Right. It says that's normal. That's what Earth's volcanoes do. They erupt. I mean, duh, but okay, they're gonna erupt. Yeah, we know. That's why we're concerned. Like shit. Like they erupt. Yeah, we know that. Right. Thank you, doctor. Right. So volcanologist and science journalist Robin George Andrews posted on X, and there's enough of them there's enough of them, meaning volcanoes, that some will always be erupting at the same time. Right. So yeah, okay. You know that what would be weird if absolutely no volcanoes were erupting. Okay, bro. To me, this sounds like just sounds childish, innit? Like, but all right, yeah, okay. You know what would be reassuring if none of them were erupting, but that's not what we're discussing here. The fact that there's loads of volcanoes, like getting smoky, and is something about to happen. That's what people are concerned about. It's something about to happen, and they don't really address that. They say, yeah, but that's just normal. Yeah, but at the same time, something is about to happen. Things are getting ready, getting prepped for great judgment and great destruction upon the earth. But like I said, these men are not experts in these types of things. So, whether they see it coming or not, I know they talk about certain places that they're due like a big earthquake or some sort of eruption, or they men are waiting for it. They don't know when, because they don't know, right? They're not experts, right? But they know the due one, right? But it's just Esau. He's just trying to play down everything, man. Like, oh, nothing's happening. It's just normal, and don't worry about it. No, people should be concerned. People should be worrying, right? I just want to grab this quickly, right? Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the science past, which I have told you before, then thou shalt understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and the upwards of the people in the world, right? This time is not normal. This is the time of the end, and it's full of great calamity, great distress, great confusion, right? This is not a normal time. But you're made to believe that things are just normal. Like nothing's out of the ordinary here. And because it's been going on for so long, you kind of feel that way. But things are drastically different. And it might have been like this for a long period of time, and that's why it feels normal. But this isn't normal, man. What's going on Earth today ain't fucking normal. This shit is extreme out here, man. And with the earthquakes they trigger volcanic eruptions and stuff like that because it's all tectonic plates and stuff, right? I'm not expert, but that's the gist I get, the gist of it that I get, and so there's always these earthquakes going on, right? The seismologists, watching all that stuff, right? And so yeah, these volcanoes dangerous. These volcanoes are dangerous, man. And 19, getting smoky ain't something to be like to turn your nose up at. No, don't worry about that. Just being smoky. It erupts. Yeah, so what? But that, and like I mentioned, there's loads of volcanoes around the earth, right? And like I said, there's loads of earthquakes going on, and eventually all this is gonna come about on the people, man, and it's just gonna like Pompeii, right? Pompeii is a good example, man. Like they were there, right, partying, fooling around, da 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 da, and then that volcano blew its top, and people died, man. People got roasted, right? And that's gonna be going on a lot around the world, man, in time to come. Like I said, they don't think that all this is gonna amount to anything. These are just normal occurring events. Yeah, naturally that's what volcanoes do. They erupt. Yeah, well, yeah, thanks, Sherlock. No shit. But what impact? What's it gonna mean ultimately? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this is Then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, the end is manifest, right? So we're living in the end times. This is not a normal time, right? So even so, the times also the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs, right? All these things are signs. The earthquakes, the volcanoes, the storms, and all of this, all of these things, the uproars of the people, these are all signs. Okay, we're not living in a normal time, man. We're living in a tumultuous time. Tumultuous, right? Very chaotic. All right? And so these things should be paid attention to. These men had every right to be concerned, but Esau, the expert, you know, make man sound dumb. Like, oh yeah, the volcanoes, of course they erupt. And there's always volcanoes going on and blah 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 blah. Trying to put man to sleep. All right, but this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 37. Says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also and so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. As in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Right? That's what they want you to focus on. Just go out there, do your 9 to 5, go do your job, go out and get drunk on a fucking Friday, Saturday night, and blah blah blah, and just repeat the fucking cycle, man. They don't want you concerned about bigger things. And I know there's people out there getting involved in bigger things, but it's like all of this is really to keep you asleep. These are all distractions. Everything that Esau got you being a part of and what is a distraction, because none of these people can focus on the true issue here. Yeah, that's for them in the Lord to understand and to focus on the true issues, right? The world's wickedness and its judgment that's coming upon it. These people are not focused on that. These people are too busy about fucking Palestine and global warming and shit. You know what I mean? They're fully distracted, if they're even that deep. Some men only care about football. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different levels in it. The Esau caters to everybody with distractions. None of them can see the real issue, right? So that's why they're going to carry on with their bullshit, their foolishness, right? It says they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be, right? So, like I said, with that, those raindrops started falling, man started like, what the hell is this? And then they remembered Noah's words, and I was like, shit, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what he was talking about. And then they started panicking as the rain got heavier and the water started rising up. Man, we're panicking because they didn't listen, they didn't pay no attention to Noah. All right. Yeah, so I'll get from that, right? So This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Right? Just concentrating on what they're about, what they want to do, to feel their own desires, right? They don't want to be hindered by the thought of any calamity happening or any change, right? They think things will just continue as they are, and they can just carry on with what they're focused on, and nothing's going to interrupt that. They don't want to think about no interruptions or any potential problems or hazards that that are perhaps coming, okay, which are coming. So, and saying, where is the promise of his coming, right? So this judgment that's supposed to come upon the world, this has been prophesied for many years, thousands of years. The end has been prophesied for thousands of years, right? And it hasn't come about as of this minute. And so people become complacent and become less faithful. But this is ultimately one huge giant test to see if man really believes or not. And obviously only the truly faithful, only the faithful are gonna, stick to what they know or what they were told, about these scriptures, about the judgment and stuff, right? Everybody else is going to fail the test, obviously, because none of these people are taking these scriptures seriously. They don't take, you don't believe in these stories of the flood and Sodom and Gomorrah and these types of things here. They don't believe it ever happened. They don't. They don't believe such a judgment will come. They think that houses will continue forever. Beginning with Esau, he thinks, he's going to rule forever. And that's just not going to be the case. Right? So now they're in the mindset of, this isn't even real. But we're going to find out, right? It says that, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. Everything's normal. Everything's just fine, right? Nothing's changed. Ain't no great judgment come. And this is the beauty of it, right? Because, scripture speaks about, teaches reincarnation, right? But none of us remember things of the past for the most part, right? Might have those deja vu moments or whatever, but you don't really remember nothing of the past. And this is why humans make the same fucking mistakes over and over again, because they don't remember shit. They don't remember being there in Sodom and Gomorrah. They don't remember being there in the flood. But, they don't remember these things, man. And so they get complacent. And the Most High does it all over again. While you're sitting there doubting it's ever going to happen. Well, they all doubted. And evil, came upon all of them. Judgment came upon all of them. But then you come back and you forget that you don't know, right? You forget about the judgment the Most High sent upon the earth. You don't know, you're like, well, yeah, I keep hearing about this Most High and about how he did this and do that, but I don't see the evidence of it. And it's been like thousands of years now, and like, is it even real? You fool. You're a damn fool, man. Because the Most High already got you, a few times already, man. And you don't know, you don't understand, you don't realize it. But we take this seriously. So, we believe in these things that are in these scriptures. All right. So we're not going to be caught off guard. We're going to prepare ourselves for that, or have been preparing ourselves that spiritually, right? So anyway, verse 5 says, for this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of God, the heavens were of old, and the earth stand out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. Right, the flood, right? But the heavens and the earth, which are now in this era, in this time, right, by the same word, Most High's word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Right, so there was a time set for this place to burn, for the judgment, of fire to come down upon it. And to us that seems like a vast amount of time. Right, so as I said, time and history is passed, and I think this event hasn't taken place yet. So, people start to doubt whether these words are even true, if it's ever going to happen, or if it's another 1,000 years from now, or another 1,000 years from that, because they're not given the foresight to see the signs, to read the signs, to understand the signs. And like I said, these volcanoes and these types of things that are going on Earth, these are all signs, man. Right, that people just don't understand, and Esau don't want you to understand. Right, that's why he'll downplay it. Right. Anyways, But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years. So time it works completely different with the Heavenly Father than it does here on earth. What is 1,000 years to us is only one day with the Lord. So in that sense, it's not been a long time at all. But to us, us ants in the ant farm, right? Because that's all we are, man. Just ants in the ant farm, man. You don't even know you're in an ant farm. We're on this place called Earth, and you think, oh, because it's so big, like we've got so much freedom that we're just free. We're not free. We're in a fucking we're in an ant farm. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, he's the one watching over us, man. You don't even know, you know. So what did the ants know? The ants don't know shit. I.e., we don't know shit. So we wait upon that day, but everything just seems long to us because we're little ants in a big ant farm. That's what it is. And the days seem long, but the Most High is not long. It says that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. And the Lord is not slack concerning His promise, right? He's not taking time. It just feels like it to us because we're such minuscule creatures, right? As some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Okay, i.e., the elect, right? The Lord is making sure all the elect are sealed before He brings the judgment. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in that which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Right? It shall come as a thief in the night, because you are not expecting it. You don't expect the thief. The thief comes late at night because you're asleep. Well, you should be, right? It should be, usually people are asleep. So that's when the thief comes. That's the best time to come and rob you from your house. Right? Where there's least little resistance. Right? Because you're asleep. And that's the world. The world is asleep. And Esau wants you to be asleep. Esau doesn't want you to pay attention to what's really going on. That's why he misdirects you, misleads you, okay? To have you focused on different things, on other things, other than what's really going on. Because Esau knows what's going on, but he doesn't want you to fully acknowledge that, right? And that's why he don't like our videos, because we'll bait it out there, man. We'll put it all out there, what's going on. But Esau got you so messed up in the mind, and the Most High got you in darkness. That's really truly what it really is. That you can't believe this word. You can't believe the things that are happening because it's just too mad for you, right? It's too crazy. Just too crazy, right? Too wild, right? It says the element shall melt with fervent heat, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness, right? And that's what we focus on. These men are not focusing on that. Okay, like I said, they're too busy being distracted. Pardon me, right? This is verse 12, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord, right? We're hastening, we're running towards this judgment. We want this judgment to take place and to happen. So eagerly do we want this to happen, right? The rest of the world don't. The rest of the world couldn't think nothing worse. Oh, World War III and nuclear warfare. Oh, that's terrible. Or that can't happen. We can't let that happen. And blah 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 blah. We want it to happen, man. We want this place to be destroyed. We want to start over, man. We want to push that reset button, right? We want our Lord Yahushua to return and reign over the earth. That's what we want, right? Because this world is going to be a better place once that takes place, right? So, we don't want the same things, and so, we're looking for. That's why we're diligently watching and praying and hoping, for these things to come soon, right? We're not focused on building our lives and our careers and money and empires and whatever you think you're on. We're not really interested in those types of things. We're going to receive those things when Yahweh Shai comes and destroys this place. All right. It says, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord, or the Most High Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved and elements shall melt with fervent heat. Okay, that's those nukes, right? The fire from the chariots, right? It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth. That's where we're looking at. Okay, to leave this era, to leave this time of wickedness behind. Right? It says, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Right? That's what we're waiting for. Okay. And I mentioned the title of the thing was Birth Pangs, right? 19 volcanoes have erupted at the same time. Birth Pangs is interesting title. And it reminds you of this scripture, right? It's from 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Things are ramping up. Things are happening more frequently, are more, more crazy. Things are happening in the earth, of more recent time, and that frequency and intensity is going to increase, right? And this is what goes on to say, right? Verse 38, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her pain, of her birth, great pains come past her womb. Okay, them pangs, right? Them birth pangs, right? Which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So as we draw closer to the time, more and more shit's gonna be happening, right? So they might say, oh yeah, volcanoes are erupting all the time. Oh, there's 19 today. Well, what if there's like 1,000? Is that normal? Is it like how normal? How normal is normal? You know what I'm saying? Because there's things are gonna be happening out here that are just not normal, man. As I said, there's people gonna be out here with spiritual powers. There's gonna be all kinds of demonic entities rolling around the streets. There's gonna be all kinds of shit going on. All the shit that shouldn't be happening is gonna be happening. Things that can't happen is gonna happen. Right? We're not living in a normal time, and that's gonna further reveal itself as time goes on. So to like deny or to like, kind of excuse us or fan this away, like, oh, this is nothing, don't worry about it. You're not really paying attention. If that's what you're doing, you're not really paying attention to the things that are going on the earth. We're not living in a normal fucking time, man. This shit far from normal, man. I don't care what you observed before and all that kind of stuff. What's about to happen on this earth hasn't ever happened before, right? So you're gonna see a bunch of things simultaneously happen that just don't usually happen, don't ever happen, right? And just on that note, let me quickly grab Daniel chapter 12 verse 1, right? So it says here, and at that time shall Michael stand up, that the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, right? There is no statistic for this. There's nothing to compare it to. It's just going to be worse in all aspects. There's a lot of things going to be going on. You think when we came out of Egypt, they had something to measure that by, like, well, what just happened? Like, that is unprecedented. Shit, unprecedented is going to happen. And you're just seeing the signs of that working to that, an unprecedented moment in time where all shit has hit the fan. What's that movie, The Day After Tomorrow, I think it is, that massive like storm, movie or whatever, and all these storms were just combining and shit. Bro, that's madness. If you have to deal with that, you had hurricanes because of the earth and shit. That's a tornado because of, that's madness. But there's a lot of shit that's gonna go on. The Most High is gonna awaken all the powers that exist on the earth, all these forces of nature that you don't attribute. You attribute to Mother Nature. You don't attribute to the Most High. But the Most High gonna have all these things active, man. You're gonna be dealing with all of this shit, man. As well as all the other stuff, like with the people, demons and the people and the beasts and the warfare and the famines, and you're just gonna be dealing with too much, man. And Esau can't deal with that. Right? So it shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. Right? We have hope of deliverance from that situation, those scenarios that are going to take place. Okay. We're back here, 2nd Ezra 16. Verse 39 says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. There's going to be nowhere to turn where devastation or chaos is not happening. Great pain is gonna encompass, the whole earth. All right. So that's what we're witnessing essentially. The build up, those pains getting closer and closer, getting more intense, right? Until you're dealing with a situation that, like to you, maybe 19 volcanoes seems normal, but it ain't normal when every volcano is active on the planet. They ain't fucking normal. But you know, don't worry about this though. This doesn't mean anything. Supposedly, they're volcanoes, right? They erupt. That's what they do. You fucking asshole. You know what would be weird if they weren't erupting. Like, you fucking asshole, man. Like, you'll find out, man. You're gonna find out. You're gonna find it weird, man. And you're fucking scolding and being burnt up to fucking ashes. Anyway, I'm gonna close out with this, right? This is Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 12. Yeah, all right, verse 12 says, "For man also knoweth not his time." And that's the problem. They don't know because the Most High has blinded them. They don't know. They don't see. That's why we was given signs. Because as men, we don't know when the end is. We don't know our fates and all that kind of stuff. We have to watch the events unfold as is written, right? So we watch to get an idea of the time or when these things are going to come upon the earth. But man doesn't know, because otherwise a man would just believe that things can go on forever because of pride. They will believe that things can go on forever. For man also knoweth not his time as the fishes that are taken in an evil net. Right? When you catch a fish in the net, the fish didn't know nothing about the net, and it was just going about his business. It didn't know nothing. It wasn't aware that it was in danger. He wasn't aware, right? You people are not self-aware, right? You just have no idea what's going on, right? And as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time. Like, this isn't a normal time. You think it because you're like the frog in the pan. Okay, you don't put a frog in boiling water because obviously it's gonna know that fucking shit's hot and jump out, right? Or try and get out. But if you put a frog in water and in normal water and slowly raise the temperature, it will stay in there until it dies, until it's boiled and dead. It can't discern the difference because it was steady. And that's what Esau does. Is everything's an incremental shift. And that's why you don't notice drastic changes because it takes place over time. He gets you used to one state before he moves on to the next one. And that's what all these psyops are about, man. The whole CV pestilence and all that kind of stuff. All these, all this stuff, man, without mentioning everything, because obviously the algorithms. But Esau has been doing all these things, all these false flags to steadily get you into position, and you don't understand that you're in a position of difficulty or in danger. You don't understand these things, but the Most High is causing all these things to happen because even Esau, the elites, don't understand that they're putting themselves in that position also. They think they're manipulating the people, but they themselves are being manipulated in the same fashion, eventually to destroy themselves. And so people just think things is normal. The only people that are up to speed with what's going on is the men of the Lord, the elect. The only ones that really truly know what's going on and see things for what they are, not what we're being told they are. So I'm gonna read it again. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. Right, it's gonna fall suddenly, man. Because that actually piece of safety. I mentioned it earlier. First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3 says, "For when they shall say peace and safety," when you think you're safe, when you think you're cool, you might even feel like you've averted some sort of disaster or something, man, and you think you're safe, you're cool. Esau sorted you out, right? He got the MOTB waiting for you. You ain't gonna starve now, supposedly, so you think, and you think you're good. This is when all hell's gonna break loose, man. There's gonna be all kinds of hell breaking news out here, man. And just before that happens, you think you're going to be all good, man. Sun destruction, as it say here. And I said it's going to take you as a thief in the night, right? Oh, as it goes here, it says uh yeah, I'll read for the top. But of the time and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay, you can't escape those pains, man. Okay, the baby has to be delivered, man. It has to bear fruit. All these prophecies are gonna bear fruit. Can't hold it back no more. You know. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that they should overtake you as a thief, right? So let's say we're clued in with what's going on. You are all the children of the light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness, like the rest are. Therefore, let us not sleep as others do, but let us watch and be sober. And that's what we're doing, right? For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, right? We believe in this word, whereas others don't. And that's why they don't take nothing that goes on seriously, man. They just think, oh, it's just an occurrence that happens on the earth. Well, we're going to see how much of a regular occurrence it is when judgment comes down. We see how regular judgment is on the scale that we're coming into. You know, see how regular that is. You know, see that you got that mapped out in your fucking data charts and analysis and shit. Because none of you got that, man. None of you see what's going to happen. Right? It says, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. All right? So, I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, this has been edified. And I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Until next time, I say shalom.